Good evening and welcome to this latest news bulletin coming to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cable of condolences to the President of the Republic of India on the victims of the collision of two trains in the state of Odisha. In compliance with the royal orders of His Majesty the Sultan, the Omani authorities facilitate the process of receiving two Austrian citizens and one Danish citizen and transporting them from Tehran to Muscat. The Ministry of Interior will announce tomorrow the preliminary list of candidates for membership of the Shura Council for the 10th term. And the Omani Investment Authority announces the completion of a project to restructure the distribution and supply companies in the electricity sector. Thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cable of condolences to Her Excellency President Draupadi Murmu of the Republic of India on the victims of the collision of two trains which occurred in the Indian state of Odisha. In compliance with the royal orders of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq to continue the efforts with the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Kingdom of Belgium, the Omani authorities facilitated the process of receiving two Austrian citizens and one Danish citizen and transporting them from Tehran to Muscat on Royal Air Force of Oman aircraft in preparation for their return to their countries. The Sultanate of Oman appreciates the cooperation of the authorities in the Islamic Republic of Iran to Omani efforts. The Kingdom of Belgium and the Republic of Austria expressed their deep thanks and appreciation to the Sultanate of Oman for its role on releasing three citizens of their countries as part of the settlements between the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Kingdom of Belgium. This was conveyed over two phone calls received by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, from Her Excellency Haja Al Habib, Belgian Minister of Foreign Affairs, European Affairs and Foreign Trade and the Federal Cultural Institutions, and His Excellency Alexandra Schollenberg, Austrian Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Minister of Interior announces tomorrow the preliminary list of candidates for membership of the Shura Council for the 10th term through the elections website and the Intikhab application. The ministry indicated that it is permissible to object the names included in the preliminary list of candidates through a request submitted via the election website within 5 days from the date of its release, with a statement of the reasons for the objection and the supporting documents, and the request will be decided within 10 days after the request deadline. His Excellency Sheikh Abdul Malik bin Abdullah Al Khalili, Chairman of the State Council, will participate today in the inauguration ceremony of His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdogan as President of the Republic of Turkey for a new presidential term. His Excellency left the country today to participate in the inauguration ceremony that will be held in the Turkish capital Ankara in the presence of presidents and personalities from various countries of the world. The Omani Investments Authority announced the completion of a project to restructure the distribution and supply companies in the electricity sector, which resulted in the merger of the electricity distribution and supply companies affiliated to the Nama Group into two companies, Nama for electricity distribution and Nama for supply. NAMA for electricity distribution specializes in distributing electricity with meters and low voltage networks and includes building lines and transformers, while NAMA for supply specializes in providing billing and collection operations. This step comes in implementation of the government's directives to restructure the electricity sector companies and in line with the directions to improve spending, reduce operational cost and raise efficiency. It is hoped that the merger project will contribute to enhancing the performance of the electricity companies, improving their services, reducing their operational costs, and facilitating services for subscribers. International news. India's vast rail network is undergoing a $30 billion transformation with gleaming new trains and modern stations. But Friday's deadly train accident shows more attention should be paid to safety. At least 261 people were killed in the country's worst rail accident in over 2 decades after a passenger train went off the tracks and hit another in the eastern state of Odisha. State monopoly Indian Railways runs the 4th largest train network in the world. It transports 13 million people every day and moved nearly 1.5 billion tons of freight in 2022. Long considers the lifeline of the world's most populous countries, the 170-year-old system has seen rapid expansion and modernization under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's push to boost infrastructure and connectivity in the fast-growing economy. And now to Japan. Japan was hit by heavy rains yesterday and earlier today that flooded streets and disrupted transport. The torrential rains came as tropical storm Mawar passed south of Japan's main island of Honshu, with the humid air from the storm fleeting into a seasonal rain front touching off heavy localized rains. One person was found dead in the central prefecture of Aichi and 2 were missing in the western prefecture of Wakayama. Meanwhile, stranded passengers filled Nagaoya station in central Japan this morning after torrential rain suspended train services in the area. The station had stopped people from accessing the platforms to wait for the Shinkansen bullet trains to resume, as there were too many stranded passengers. Operations were resumed around noon today. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and yet to come in our news bulletin, Al-Biruni Library in Tashkent, a cultural monument and an expression of friendship between the Sultanate of Oman and Republic of Uzbekistan. Welcome to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry branch in the Governorate of Al-Zahra organized a forum for private educational and health institutions in the regions to highlight their roles and support their engagement in the local community. More than 30 educational and health institutions from the private sector took part in the 2-day forum that provided a venue to showcase their services and facilities to the community and enhance their exposure in the local market. As part of its plan to increase the green area for the current year, the Duqm Special Economic Zone is working to plant trees in the several vital locations and services sites and to use modern system for irrigation. More details coming up in this report.
About 67% of the total target plan for planting 5,000 trees has been completed, as the current green areas in the Special Economic Zone at Duqm are about 26,000 square meters. On the other hand, A 5,000 square meters plant nursery is being operated in Duqm to serve the plan of afforestation of the area with plants that are compatible with Duqm climate. In order for it to be the main incubator for the production of various seedlings and trees before planting them in gardens, parks and streets, in addition to being a station for agriculture experiments, as well as to support the local community. The Special Economic Zone at Duqm has allocated a part of the nursery to be operated and managed by one of the small and medium enterprises in this field. The Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones launched earlier several initiatives related to afforestation and tree distribution in cooperation with the Environment Authority, with the aim of making the region a model for integrated economic cities that combine various projects and services with attention to environmental and health aspects.
The Special Economic Zone at Duqm contains many tourism facilities and destinations to introduce a unique experience to visitors and residents. Again, here is a report.
The Special Economic Zone of Duqm is rich with many factors that make it a unique tourism site in the Sultanate of Oman. Its attractiveness as a tourism destination is growing with the rapid commercial and economic growth in the area and the readiness of its development, service, and investment projects.
I'm now visiting Oman, and it's a very interesting place where the nature is fabulous. It is a nice place to stay. It's very hot for Italian people, but the people are very nice, and I like it.
Visitors of Duqm Special Economic Zone can enjoy a relaxing vacation by its beautiful beaches, which fall on the Arabian Sea. Another tourism site close to the area are the Arabian Oryx Sanctuary and the Wetland Reserve. A trip to either reserve can be arranged in the same day and back due to their proximity to the economic zone. There is also a rock garden in the area, which is considered a rare geological site.
Old Oman is a wonderful place. We visited just the south till Sur and the desert, the White Desert, and I was astonished about that magnificent place. And people are very nice and friendly, and also the hotels are so nice and peaceful. And in Oman you have a choice of many hotels of every kind of clientele. And we are going to go now to the desert, and we are going to stay in a tent, in a camp. And I think for us, for Italian people, it's something different from our culture.
The Wilaya of Duqm enjoys a mild climate most days of the year. Its natural and geological heritage is characterized by diversity, which makes it a distinguished tourist destination for foreign and local visitors alike. Duqm Airport is a major contributor to the tourism growth in the region, as its passengers number increased last year by 37% and can accommodate over 500,000 travelers annually.
Al-Bayruni Library is an iconic landmark that stands as an exhibition of friendship between the Sultanate of Oman and the Republic of Uzbekistan that is translated in various cultural cooperation projects. Abu Ar-Rayhan Al-Bayruni Library, and this is located in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan. It offers a safe haven for the collection of works of the renowned scholars Abu Ar-Rayhan Al-Bayruni, building the library in the homeland of the two greatest minds that the world has ever known, Ibn Sina and Abu Ar-Rayhan Al-Bayruni, marks the compassionate and cultural awareness of the Sultan Qaboos bin Said, who left a legacy for the world in the historic crossroad of civilization of Silk Road, where nations, traders and scholars met and shared their knowledge and experience with each other. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cable of condolences to the President of the Republic of India on the victims of the collision of two trains in the state of Odisha. In compliance with the royal orders of His Majesty the Sultan, the Omani authorities facilitate the process of receiving 2 Austrian citizens and 1 Danish citizen and transporting them from Tehran to Muscat. The Ministry of Interior will announce tomorrow the preliminary lists of candidates for membership of the Shura Council for the 10th term. And the Omani Investments Authority announces the completion of a project to restructure the distribution and supply companies in the electricity sector. And at that, we do conclude this news bulletin coming to you live from the Sultanate of Oman television. Thank you for joining us and good night.